Okay, our first stream of July is about to go live here. There we go. All right, so give me a second here, folks. I just got to get myself organized. And today, I thought it would be fun to take a look at something I just bought because I was curious about it. And that is the Backbone, which is a iOS game controller. And let's just go over here and get it set up here and get my chat going. So this is an iOS game controller, and it kind of works as you see here. Your phone goes in the middle of it, and that's how it works. So we're going to open it up today, and we'll have a review later in next week. So this is kind of my first impression of it because I just got it. In fact, it came in yesterday. So I thought we would open it up and see what we do and kind of go from there. So got some comments coming in already. So America's here, always one of the first. Good to see you. My tech guy, Tim. By the way, I bought this with my own funds. Completely paid for with my own funds. Any plans for the 4th? Yeah, I'll be, I've been taking it easy today. So this is the only thing I've really got on the agenda for today because I'm actually ahead of on my production schedule. So all my videos are done. I've got actually next week's wrap up already planned. So that's good. So yeah, we're going to see my dad tonight and we'll see what goes on over the weekend. It's going to be raining tomorrow. So the weather's not going to be great here, but we'll see how it goes. Connor Powers is here. Hello. Dora is asking, does it work with tables? I think you mean, does it work with tablets? And the answer is no. I think this is designed only, this is actually an iPhone only product because it has a lightning connector. And it is designed to work with everything from the iPhone 6S and up. So that is what it works with. And like I said, we'll take it out of the box here in a minute. The Note is here. Chanfley is here. Hello. All the regulars are popping in. Connor is here. And Jolt Dudes says, remember a scam Kickstarter for an iOS phone controller. There's been a bunch of them. Is this one of them? Was this a Kickstarter? I don't know. It sells for about $100. So it's a little on the pricey side. But when you've got these iOS devices or things designed for iOS, there's a what they call the Apple tax because, excuse me, because if you want that made for iPhone thing on it, you pay extra because they have to license the Apple technology for this to work. But apparently this is like a fully compatible game controller, so it should work with anything that supports the new iOS game controller standard. So it should function like a Xbox controller would. And you're welcome, Dor. Chris Allegretta says, yes, we have great weather in the Northeast. First the heat wave, now just rain. But we'll take, yes, it's been cooler today. But yeah, we actually needed the rain here because we've been we haven't had a lot of rain lately. So it's been good to get the rain in here. So let's take it out of the box here and see what we've got. So it's a multi-step process here. So you can play with your friends, your arch nemesis, your grandma, or with your brother. What about your sister? Oh, okay, here you go. There's no sister on here. What if I have a brother and a sister? Your boss, your neighbor, your crush. Play with your what? Oh, your long-lost twin. I guess it loops over to the other side. Whatever. You know, it's funny. They spend so much money on the packaging. Does it really matter? You know, like think about like the fact that like, what does this add to the price of the item? I'm going to just gripe for a second here. So so this is like it's probably just a second pass. So you got to print the black on here, and then it looks like they just printed that glossy ink on it on top of that. But still, like that's an extra pass through the printer. And I get it on the front, but you've got to do it on both sides. So here, like they have so they have a 4-color print here on the front. I used to do a little bit of printing, so that's why I'm reacting to this. They have a coating on it to give it like a nice, more premium feel to the box. and then they have the gloss on top of that. So there's a bunch of passes, probably about 4 or 5 passes, actually 4 or 5, 6, probably 6 passes on this part, and then at least 2 on this one. Whatever. Okay. And Jolt said this was not one of the scam ones. Good. So this one's on the up and up. Frank is here. Happy 4th to you as well. Yes, I'm going to, actually that's the first thing we're going to do when I get it out of the box is we're going to try Xbox Cloud Gaming because it apparently works with that. And I guess the deal is they give you, or there's apparently a promotion. If you don't have Game Pass, you get like 3 months of it. And Thomas Amfang, speaking of Apple, thoughts on Apple Lossless, tried it out on a proper home theater. I got to try that. I haven't yet hooked up my new Apple TV, so that's on my list of things to do this weekend. So I'll check that out, see what that looks like. Carboxylated is here. Hello. Not much going on. We're just chilling today. Yep, probably some gloss or thermography. That's probably what we saw there. And Waldick is here as well. All right, let's open it up. Ooh. Snap in, game on. So let's see what else we have here. Just a little card here to give you instructions. More gloss. Look at that. There's another layer. See that? It adds cost when you add these layers. They could have had a 2-color pass here. Instead they went 3 times. So you line up your phone with the lightning connector, grab the left handle and extend it, and then snap your phone in. Oops. It feels pretty good though. It's got a really nice solid feel. So you've got a D-pad. It feels good. We'll have to see how it actually plays out in a game. This button will take screen captures, so you can capture a screenshot. I think this one might link back to their app. They have like a launcher app that goes with this. And there's a couple other buttons here. Feels pretty good, I must say. It's got a nice, it has a nice premium feel, so I'll give them that. And Chanflay says that glossy effect is called Spot UV. That's what they call that. All right, so let me get my phone out here. Now I did install their app already. So let's see how this plays out here. And by the way, if you're watching on Amazon, feel free to leave a note. All right, so I have their app loaded. Now what it says I'm supposed to do is to put the lightning connector portion in first. And then like that. Okay, that seems to work. And it's keeping my camera free. So welcome to Backbone. Press A to continue. By the way, it has an audio pass-through and a charging pass-through, so you can charge it as well. And then I'm going to continue with my Apple account here. And let me just get those things situated. Turn on my Do Not Disturb also. So bear with me as I go through my account connection. Now what's nice is it leaves the Face ID sensor exposed, so it'll work. And now it wants me to pick one of those. You know what I'm talking about. I think I'm going to be this ninja here. That's what I'm going to be. Okay. And then I'll just give myself my name here. So it looks like they've got like a little ecosystem they're building around this thing. I'm not going to put my phone number in. I don't really care to invite my friends. Okay. So here's the marketing, right? I will say though, I like the feel. I like the feel. We're going to need you to follow a few things to get started. And I've got a case that I can try on this too to see how this works. I don't want to add my friends. I have no interest in that. So let's skip that. Because you know what they're trying to do is like build up their own ecosystem around the controller, which is fine, I guess, but I don't really want your notifications. I don't want access. Okay, oh, so this you're going to need to do if you want to take screenshots. So I'm going to actually grant it that. And then record unlimited gameplay at 1080p 30. All right. And then you press to record gameplay. And then you hold it to take a screenshot. You know, it's funny because on the Switch, it's the opposite. So that takes a screenshot. Okay. And then this button Quickly hold down the backbone button to trigger the home button in apps like Xbox, PlayStation, Stadia, and more. So that's your home button. All right. I will say the controller feels nicer than I expected. Like, it feels very comfortable. Partly because the heaviest component is the phone itself, and that's in the middle. So when we looked at, for example, when we looked at the 8BitDo controller that's designed for Xbox Game Pass, that costs a lot less than this does. But you do have a bit of weight on the top because the phone sits on a clip. You know, you're kind of clipping the phone to it. So this feels more comfortable so far. And then you can find games that support game controllers in the thing there. Okay, you're good to go. Press the backbone. So let's see what they have. Oh, look at this. So they have like a launcher here. So I installed complete backbone for Xbox setup. All right, so now it wants my phone number again. I don't know why they need that, but I'll put that in real quick, because I should be able to get into my account without this, right? All right, so give me a second here. It's got to put in the code. Okay. All right, so they have like, it's kind of neat. They have a launcher. Oops. And then, okay, so that actually just takes you right into the Xbox thing here. So I just hit the button, and now I'm in my account. That's cool. So let me go back. What if I hit this? Yeah, so let me see what that does. I can hit this to open the menu. So it's a little confusing because like they have their own launcher, which is actually good. And so they've got a lot of integration with Xbox here. So I can load up all the games on my Xbox account, like right out of the gate. So that's pretty neat. And actually, that's kind of nice to some extent because, what's this? Contra returns. Oh, let's see, you have to pre-order that. That's kind of cool. And Carbon Lexilated said this is viable for, yeah, I think this is a good option. And actually, what we'll do, here, let me jump out of here, because I also put Genshin Impact on here. So let's try it out with something that I know works with game controllers, but let's see if it works with this one. I'm gonna not. Everybody's trying to, you know, this whole thing with the tracking when they ask you, like, it's been interesting to see which apps track me outside of the game. Dava is here. Hello. And we're just waiting for it to load up here. And I got to sign into another account. Everybody wants my info. Okay. Jeez. I don't think this works with the game controller. Let's see. Hang on one second, everybody. Tap to begin. It's going to check for updates. Because I did see that they do support game controllers now, but and Jolt Dude says if you're charging, you might want to use a right angle cable. I could see that being something you might want to do. And hang on, let me just pull up my Amazon app on my iPad here so I can keep track of the Amazon chat as well. And we'll let this load up here. Okay, tap to begin. So this might not work with the control. I know Call of Duty works with it. Download the full package. You are currently running a game demo with limited content. I'm just going to log in. So it's giving me like the X to log in, but it's not responding to the button push. Unless that, I don't know how that's supposed to map. We'll see. All right, so bear with me for 1 second here, folks. I'm getting a package from UPS that I'm going to open in front of you all too. It looks like it's going to be kind of a fun thing. And that's coming shortly. Okay. And so far we haven't had anyone chat with us on Amazon, but I'll keep an eye on that. All right, so now the game's loaded. Yeah, so this doesn't seem to work with the controller unless there is a setting that enables it in Genshin Impact. Because I did read somewhere that it supports game controllers, but not this one. So there you go. So let me hit the... Oh, it says Genshin Impact added. So what if I launch it from here? What does that do? Genshin Impact control settings can be changed after... Oh, okay. Got it. So that's why. So I'll have to go through that tutorial later and do that. So I will leave that, because I haven't really played this all that much. Unless it can do it now. Because I think I did go through the tutorial when I first played it. Let's see, we go back here. Weapons, Constellation, Artifacts, Profile. All right, we'll have to play with that one in a minute. But what's neat is if you hold it down, it brings you right back to the... It's actually, the integration here, I got to say, is kind of nice. But we should probably find a game, because the Game Pass stuff is going to be fun to play with. But the problem is that... I'm just trying to see if there's any games that I own. The problem is I really want to get a sense as to what the latency feels like. Now, as you can see here, as I'm moving through the menu, it's pretty responsive. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of latency, but I really should measure it to get a better feel for that. But it looks like there's a pretty significant focus here on the Xbox compatibility. So why don't we go into, so that's remote play, Xbox Cloud Gaming on Backbone. Oh, wait a minute, so that's different. So we should find something on Game Pass that gives us that. So let me just go into one of the games here. So my daughter's going to kill me, but we've been playing this River City Girls. So why don't we load this up real quick? Oh, I already have that on my console. So wait, oh, so this is the remote play. So that's different. So what I need to do is go, I thought this was going to load up my Xbox Cloud Gaming thing. So that's remote play, that's different. Okay, so let's go back out. I'm just trying to figure this out. So I have Cloud Gaming on my phone here, and I got to log in again. So bear with me, folks. So let me just log in, and then we can try this out. So my understanding, by the way, with remote gaming on the Xbox is that this doesn't work with the Series X, which is what I have upstairs. All right, so now we're going to jump back in. So this is Xbox streaming. Nick F says, do you need the app to use it? I will find out. I have a feeling that it's probably going to prompt you to install it so that button maps appropriately. Now, it looks like it did not detect the presence of the controller. But let's see what happens here. By the way, if you like beat-em-ups, this game has been awesome. My kids and I have been really having fun with this. All right, we have some folks on Amazon. Willie Banks is joining us. Hello. And Dave Ramroop is here as well. Thanks for joining us on Amazon. So let's get into this real quick here. So my kids know the song by heart now. And so here's the story. This is like a sequel to an old NES game called River City Ransom. And so in this game, unlike the original, the boyfriends get captured and the girlfriends are going to rescue the boyfriends. And then as you're playing, you can level up your character and learn new moves that are more powerful. And it's actually got a good degree of challenge to it. So we've been having a lot of fun with this. And I'm going to be Kyoko, because she's the one that my daughter likes to play with the other character, and I have all the moves down on this one. And we're stuck on a boss right now, so I need to get some. So let me check something real quick. So yeah, it feels pretty good. I mean, this is streaming, so it's there's going to be a little bit of lag on the streaming just by its nature, but it doesn't feel bad actually. Oops, I just fell off the edge there. You just have to get used to playing it on a different controller. And this is a hardwired solution too, so I'm usually much better at playing this game. I'm just not used to it on the small screen here. It's funny how you get used to how a controller feels. This is one of the moves that I learned. Isn't that cool? That's a good move. And she also has like this other one here. But you have to build up her, that green bar at the bottom kind of builds up the special moves. So she has this one also that's pretty cool. And it's funny, the kid in the teddy bear outfit, like that character there is pretty deadly. But lag-wise, I'll tell you what, like this is streaming. This feels a lot better than I remembered it feeling with the Bluetooth controller connected. And I think Apple has done some things with their made-for iPhone system here related to direct hardwired controllers. So it definitely feels laggier just because it's a streaming game, but it feels less laggy than I recall the other Bluetooth controllers I've tried with this. And remember too that on the iPhone, Xbox game streaming has to work through the Safari browser. So that's part of it too. Oh, see, now I can recruit her. So if I grab, I forgot the button combination here. Oh, that took too long. And you can like stomp on them when they, like I said, those ones are really pretty tough. Okay, so there we go, got some money. Now what I need to do is I need to take some of the money. Let's see, so I don't know what each of these things does. These are clothing. So I don't really think I want clothing. Stand up more quickly after being knocked down. Yeah, so what I want to do is I want to spend my money on food here. But yeah, so far so good with this one. But yeah, so just to answer some questions on the streaming, it feels pretty good. So let me show you like just on this one. So I'm going to hit the button here. And this is, the latency that's here is almost entirely due to the game streaming. So there's definitely some lag here, like no question, but that's because it's streaming. So we'll definitely have to test this on some local games too. Oof. They have like these like Arnold Schwarzenegger cyborg guys. But by the way, if you all like, these kind of games, like these beat 'em up games, this is called River City Girls. It's on Game Pass. It's been out for a while, but we just recently got into it. So my 8-year-old loves it. Partly because it's the girlfriends rescuing the boyfriend. She likes that. She likes all the martial arts that they learn and the different moves. And plus, it's something she can do with dad, right? So that's always a lot of fun. It's not like a gory, bloody thing. I mean, granted, she's like stomping on people, but it's nobody's getting like dismembered or anything, right? And the graphics are great too. It's a really fun game. Great soundtrack too. So if you're curious how this comes together, so it kind of links in that way. Now, I don't have a case on my phone, so we'll look at that later too. So here you can get a feel for the lag. It's definitely got some, and again, that's probably due to the streaming service, because again, on the iPhone, it runs through the browser. So a lot of questions about Windows 11. We're going to cover Windows 11 on Monday on the wrap-up show. I have thoughts. See, I don't like how that's working there. See, you know, it's funny. It doesn't feel like the Game Pass is integrated yet. Although I think the reason is that Game Pass is not yet doing streaming for every user. Oh, wait, is there some haptic feedback on this too? Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah, it's got a little haptic feedback motor on it too, it feels like. Yeah, okay. So let's go and look at a game that I have installed. So let's try Call of Duty Mobile. Oh, and I got to go through the stupid tutorial. Okay. So in both cases, they put you through a touch-only thing, and then you can use the... And Quake says, dude, you are never too early to learn fighting games. That's right. Yeah, I'm going to have, after we finish River City Girls, we're going to do Streets of Rage 4. That was one that I started on earlier. So we're going to play that one next, too. And Hector says, God bless Way Forward. Yeah, you know what's funny is that my kids really love their games. So we've been playing Shantae, the new Shantae game. They love that one. And we bought the one on limited run games, so we got like the full package, and that was really fun for her. And let's see how Call of Duty Mobile works here. Again, I have to probably go through the tutorial because I haven't really played this game at all. I don't do a lot of mobile gaming. But you know what I like about this controller is that it's convenient. Because you don't have to carry a separate clip with you. I'll show you what it folds up to when we're done here. And it's got to download another update here, and then we can... Yeah, and I would imagine the streaming on Android is better, just because they have an app where they can optimize code a little better. And the way the iPhone works, they don't want those games launching through a cloud provider unless Apple can get their cut. We'll see how that goes. Dava wants to know, what laptops do I have left? I still have a ton of laptops to review. Tonight you're going to see a review of a really expensive one, the HP Dragonfly Elite Max. And I've got some more affordable ones coming up too. Chris is saying about the Ally thing, the Ally Bank issue that we talked about on the wrap-up this week. I don't know. I think it was limited. Because somebody else had reached out to me to say also that they did not get the email. And, okay, let me sign in with Apple here. I'm just going to create an account because that way if I get through the tutorial, the next time I review one of these controllers, I don't have to worry about that. What I do like so far is that it's keeping the Face ID visible, so that's good. And you can also charge it if you plug your charging cable, oops, if you don't flip your phone over, you can plug the lightning cable into the bottom and it's got a pass-through charging feature. All right, hang on a second, let's just put my name in here. Oh, I already used in use, huh? All right, so let's try. I probably already registered on here already, but. This would be a good way to gauge the lag on a local game. Hector says, Shantae is absolute perfection. It is. And you know what's funny? When you think about something like the real difference in gameplay between Shantae and River City Girls, like a beat 'em up and a platformer, and they got both right. Like that's pretty impressive, I think. All right, so let's get through this thing here. Yeah, so I can't tell you how many times I have played this tutorial and never actually. So if we get through the tutorial, then we can switch to the. But you know, one thing I will say is that it's nice that they've got some curation in their app so that you know what. How do I kill these guys here? There we go. It's nice that they have some curation so you know what you can actually use with the controller. That's kind of a neat thing. As you can see, I'm very bad at touch controls because I really prefer to have, and like this kind of game, I would prefer to use a mouse, right? But, all right, so we got to go through all this stuff here. Tap settings, where's settings? Tap settings. Okay, and then go, yeah, this is such a pain. I like the old way of doing things, which was you bought the game and you read the instructions if you wanted to, and if you didn't, See, this is part of it, though. They're trying to get you to get sucked into the microtransaction thing. All right, so we'll move on to the next target. Let's get through this tutorial. Once the tutorial is over, we can try out the controller with this. All right, move here. And then we need to all right, score streak tutorial. Tap the score streak button. See how adjust missile by controlling view. Here we go. Looks like I did pretty well there. Victory. So did I finish the tutorial? Let's see. Controller use disabled until after tutorial. Okay, so I think now we might be past that tutorial part. Hector is asking, are there Android alternatives? Yeah, we looked at one from Razer. Razer had one. I forgot the name of it. Now, at the time, it was limited in which phones it supported because it had this custom case that it snapped into. But I think they have a few of them that are out there. And Thomas Amfang says, Apple has demonstrated at every point that they don't understand gaming. I don't know if they consider it a waste of time. You know what's funny? You're absolutely right about this, because when you look at two things, one is the Apple TV, and the other is the iPhone and the iPad. They have, and by the way, Quake in the Amazon chat says it's the Razer Kishi is the one that everyone's thinking about. Okay, so let's tap multiplayer here. I don't know if I'm done with the tutorial yet or not, but let's see if it'll let me use the game controller here. But I think you have something to be rightfully complaining about there, because they do have, and they have the best mobile performance in the, oh, this is nice. Okay, and here we go. So let's see how this works. Now I'm assuming, yeah, this is actually pretty good, everybody. So here, let me see if I can, yeah, this feels really nice. I don't usually like playing these first-person shooters like this, but yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this, to be honest with you. I'm not sure how to, like, duck down here. Oh, I just threw a grenade. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, this feels pretty good. Yeah, the lag does not feel bad here. So let me hit the button. You can get a sense. I mean, there's a little bit there. I'll figure out a way to measure this. I got to find like some kind of like game controller tester thing that would give us a better feel for this. But it feels pretty good. I will say that it's probably the smoothest, most comfortable iOS controller I have used. Now, I'm not feeling any haptic feedback on it, though, so that's one thing I'm not getting. I don't know if that's just not part of the spec or not. Oh, I can use my score streak here. So I think we'll go and land the missile over here. There we go. Boom. Yeah, don't mess with my missiles. I don't think I'm actually playing against other players, even though it says multiplayer, because I'm doing too well here. This is how it works. They get you all like confident that you can play the game very well. This feels pretty good. So we got some other folks joining us. I'm missing everybody here because I'm so focused on this gameplay real quick. Oops, sorry, I hit my own character here. But yeah, the lag feels good. Now let's try this recording feature. So I'm going to push this. How to record your screen and save it to the backbone. Oh, it saves it into the app. Okay, it's backbone capture. So, oh, so I see. So this works. I see how this works. So this is hooking into a feature. Okay, so now I got to hit. How do you get back out? There we go. So then I have to go here. So this hooks into a feature of iOS that allows an app to start capturing the screen. And then if I hit that again, I can stop it. So I use this API that Apple has for doing this. This is what I use for my NDI system. So that's how that works. And it looks like it puts it into a little menu here. So here's the recording that we just did. And then it was, here I'm futzing around trying to figure out how to get it to work, right? And let's hit play. So, you know, it's fine. But you could do a screen capture just the same. Excuse me, it's just that this is tied to the button. So it must have like a feature that brings you back into their app. So I would guess if I didn't have this app installed that it would probably be asking me to install it, just because I think it adds some of that to it. And here's a fun comment. I'm getting sucked into the microtransaction void. Never, never. I have never paid for a microtransaction, I can tell you that. I will, actually, I take that back. I may have at one point bought something in Pokemon Go, and I will not admit that ever again. So now if you're curious what it's like when it's out, so you've got like this spring-loaded thing here. Let's see who else we got here. So we have a few more people that have popped in. Mark Smith said the last reasonable Apple gaming machine was the Apple II. Yeah, those Apple II games don't all hold up too well anymore. Although I will say my favorite game on the Apple II, there was a couple of them. Karateka was great, or Karateka, depending on how you pronounce it. The other one that I liked was Wings of Fury. That was a great game. That was a really fun game. Dean Holm reminds us, just as Quake did, that the Razer Kishi is one, and I guess GameSir has one as well for Android. D. Johnson is here. Mahir is asking, does this replace consoles like the Switch? I think Apple's kind of going in that direction. I did have, maybe I should renew it just for the purposes of reviewing this thing. I did have an Apple Arcade. Do I still have an account? Because I think I had like the free trial. So Apple has Apple Arcade, and you can find that in this arcade section of the App Store. And so I may just renew the subscription for a month because it's like $5, I think, and I could get a bunch of games that we can test out with this. But they've got some decent mobile kind of games. I'm not really into mobile games that much. To be honest, what attracted me to this was the Xbox Game Pass support, because it does support that. So that was my main reason for looking at this. And NLG says, oops. I'd rather get a universal controller. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. Like the best one, I would say, I don't have it up, down here at the moment, but the best controller for that, in my opinion, is the 8BitDo SN30 Pro 2. The latest one that looks like, I don't even have any down here. It kind of looks like it's like a combination of a PlayStation and a Super Nintendo controller, and they have a great clip for it. I reviewed one recently. And that one's nice because it works with everything. However, this one has a little less lag, at least insofar as I can feel initially right now, because this one is connecting directly to the Lightning cable. So you're not using a Bluetooth connection. So that's what's going on there. Let's see here. I'm just going through some of the comments to make sure I didn't miss anything. Dean Home 1 reminds us that the NDI HX app for iOS is awesome. It works just the same way as the capture does on this one, for sure. And Carbelixlated wants me to go upstairs and turn on that Xbox. So I will go do that. I will turn on my Xbox and see if it supports that remote play. And I've got a couple of AAA titles already installed on that thing. So let me go run upstairs, just for you, to give this a shot, and let's see what we get. And I gotta walk upstairs here, and I gotta switch it on. Yeah, I have the Series X, and I am quite happy with the Series X. You gotta hunt around for them. They're not easy to get. Okay, so I just turned it on, and now we're gonna go back downstairs. And I think I have to log into my account again because this is separate from the other thing. Okay. So let me redock the phone here. And we have some other comments here. Ulrich Riddle. Hi, folks. Happy Friday. Thanks for all the great content. Yeah, you know what prompted me to get this was there was an ad on Facebook. So, and I looked on Amazon and it was like the top selling controller in its category. So I said, well, we'll give it a shot and see what we get. So here we go. Okay. So let's go back to, so we have cloud gaming, which is different. These are rooms. What do these rooms mean? I don't know. Okay, so let's go to remote play. And my friends that are active, jump back in. So he wants me to play a AAA game. As you all know, I am not a AAA gamer, but I have, what would qualify as AAA? So I've been playing Wreckfest a lot. Let me try this just because it's already on my console. So let me see what I'm doing here. Oh, this is the button I want to hit. Xbox One. Set up a console. Set up a new console. Oh, sorry, because I haven't. Oh, no. Okay. Everybody talks amongst yourselves. I have to go upstairs and type a code into my game console. So I'm going to add a lower third here and just so that people know where I'm going. Let's see. I got to find a. Okay, let me just do a quick edit here. Okay, so let me do that real quick. Okay, so I'm going to put this up. Oops, okay, let me do this. Okay. So I have to go type this code in. See this code? I got to go type this in upstairs. So I will be right back. So enter the code on your TV. And see, now I got to turn the television on, and I have to turn on the receiver, the audio receiver. And then I can get this to work here. So hang on a second, everybody. I could have just got the 1X booted up, because I still have that one too. But in the interest of seeing if we'll get this going too. Okay, so let's go and hit my input. I gotta go hit the input on HDMI 2. Okay, so now it's not asking me anything. So they gotta make this stuff easier. Okay, so I'm gonna set up Manage Console and Games. That's Xbox One. All right, so I want to set up a console, set up a new console. So I'm not seeing anything on the Series X here that would indicate that I can connect to this console. So maybe I have to go into some settings here. I can't see the chat right now because I have everything downstairs. But let me go into the settings here. Maybe there's a command to do that. All right, so general, system. Remote features, maybe? Is that where it might be located? Yeah, test remote play. Enable remote features. Here we go. Okay. So now I am enabling remote features. Okay. Okay, so now So let's see if it found it this time. It hasn't found it yet. Set up a console, set up a new console. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I may have to come back to this one if it's not going to work. Play games from your console, use Xbox Remote Play to turn off your console. So that's pretty cool. I can actually turn it on and off. And it looks like it now supports that. But when I go to set up a new console here, it's telling me that it doesn't see it. Set up a console, add an existing console. Yeah, I did that. Okay. Okay, here we go. I think we're getting there. Turn on your console and sign in with your account, which I did. And I think it's just waiting for it to connect back through. Okay, use Xbox Remote Play to play your console. Okay, da-da-da. Turn on your console and sign in with your account, which I did. Yeah, this doesn't seem to be working right now. I'll have to come back and try this later. Yeah, we'll give that a shot later. I will test it though in the full review because now I'm determined to figure out how to make it work. Especially because if I can, play these games locally on my network as opposed to the more remote kind of activity there. Okay. And then I got a month of Game Pass included with my Backbone. How about that? All right, almost there, everybody. Okay. All right. I am back. It was a failed mission, unfortunately. We will try that, though. Okay, so let me see what else we got for chats here. I'll put this back out in the middle of the overhead view so you can get a look at it again. I'll tell you what, I am pleased with this. I was not expecting to like this because I'm always, my expectations with these things are always really poor, and this one feels like it's pretty decent. The issue I think you run into with a lot of the streaming stuff is that it doesn't play all that well. You know what I should do? Let me install. I've got one of the Sonic games on here. I'm not sure which one I have in my app store, but let me look and see which ones I own. So my purchases. I think I have like Sonic, because I know the Sonic games support this. So I have Sonic the Hedgehog 2 Classic. I think that might be one of them. Because there was that game that, what's his name, remade. If not, I can grab one of those other ones. I really like to try the retro games, because if you're going to detect lag, that's where you're going to see it, right? So let's see if this one works. If not, maybe I'll pick up a more recent one. And Jorge Martinez tells me that there is an Apple Arcade offer on, geez, everybody wants to track me outside of these apps. There's an Apple Arcade offer through Verizon, so I may have to try that. Now, I'm pretty sure this game supports game controllers. Yeah, it does. Okay, good. Or it did a minute ago. That button push was registered, but there we go. Let's see how this works. I just want to try the D-pad out here and see how it does. So let's take a look at that. Yes, this is the game that what's his name redid. So this is not. I don't think this is emulated. It's kind of a port. You know, they redid the whole game. But it feels good. I have to say, like, all right, so here, let me show you the button push. So, and again, we got to measure this, and I got to find a good way of measuring it. So here's the button push. It's pretty low. It's not, you know, what I found with these mobile controllers in particular is that when they're bad, you can feel how bad it is, especially with this game. But I'm not feeling, you know, I'm sure it's not going to be as good as like my Mister, you know, or some of the FPGA consoles and stuff, but this is not bad. These songs are so catchy. All right, let's do a little bit more here. Yeah, it's playable. The D-pad feels pretty good too. So it feels good. Yeah, I'm happy with it. And you know, what's nice is that it's really comfortable. And you know what I'm feeling with it is it's nice the mapping all works too. Is the thickness of the side controls here. It feels good in the hand. It's not, you know what I mean? It gives you something to grab onto. They're not thin, and I think that's actually a good thing that they're not thin. So that's pretty nice. Let's see how the charging component works. I think I've got a charging cable here. So let's route that through. Yep, charged right up. So you can plug in the cable. Somebody recommended getting like one of those right angle cables. Yeah, but this is something, I mean, this is expensive. I mean, $100 for a game controller is a lot of money, okay? So, you know, I'm weary of that because I think the market for this is something where they're smelling some margin potential because everybody's controllers cost more than they should. Part of it's the Apple tax. But the lag is not bad. Again, I'm going to measure this for my review. And I got to find a good app, like game testing app, controller testing app, because I can't plug this into anything else other than the iPhone. And again, this will be good only until Apple stops making phones with Lightning connectors, then you're out of luck. I mean, I would say that from a comfort and control perspective, this feels close to what you would experience, I think, on a Switch with a better D-pad. The D-pad is much better than the GameCon D-pad for sure. So that's pretty good. It feels like they put some time into it. And by the way, they didn't send this to me. I bought this. So, and Jessica just asked right as I said it. The perfect timing. So it is 99 bucks. It's on right now on the live stream. In the video description, there's a link that should send you right to. It'll send you right to it. It sends you to my live stream on Amazon, but it'll take you in over there. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, it feels good. Either way. I mean, the problem that you have left here is that Apple doesn't support a lot of games. Thomas in the Amazon chat says, after watching the Epic Games trial, I understand why Apple doesn't get gaming. Apple's philosophy is not to pursue markets it views as beneath them, even if they lose money, i.e. gaming. And what's funny is they're making a lot of money on gaming through the App Store. I think what came out in the testimony was that games were like the chief driver of revenue. It's all the stuff my kids play with. Those, like my little one's into those dollhouse apps, and she's getting me like, and they're cheap enough. It's like $3 for one of these little scenarios, or $2. So I get her one once a week just as a little, reward for good behavior kind of thing. But I was looking, I've bought like a lot of these things now. I probably spent $30 or $40 on just dollhouse apps for the kid. Yeah, my playing ability here is no indicator of the controller's abilities. But yeah, the game library on iOS is not great. What really attracted me to this controller was the Game Pass functionality. Because I do have a Game Pass Ultimate subscription. And I really like the fact, and apparently I can also stream from my console too, which I'm going to try again later before the review. What I really like about this, though, is that, about the Game Pass, is that it works pretty well. It syncs your games up, so when you sit back down at the console, you're right where you left off. So it's a really, Microsoft has put together, I think, a really good value. Granted, you're paying, about what you'd pay for a Netflix subscription, I think, at this point. But you download the games, you can play them all offline. The streaming thing is kind of an add-on. So what we should do now is let me go get a case. I don't put my phone in a case, but I'm curious to see how the case might function with it. So let's go get a case. I've got a bunch of cases that I will try out real quick and see how that comes together. But so far, I'm actually, it's funny, when you have expectations that are low, sometimes if it gets close to where you want it to be, if it's more than what you thought, it's generally pretty good. Now I got a couple of these cases in, because these were going to be on the Prime Day sale and then weren't. So let's try one of these cases, because it's kind of this like your run-of-the-mill kind of case, right? So let's try that out here. And I'll put the phone in the case, and then we'll see if because this is actually a great case to demo this with, because do you see that depth to that? And what was it I was looking at? I was looking at something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, you know what it was? It was those FLIR cameras. So I was looking at those FLIR cameras, the thermal cameras, and they had, I think I have it over there. They have an adjustment on it to lift up the lightning connector to fit in. This doesn't have that. So if the case is really adding some depth to your connector, that could create some issues. But let's take a look and see. It's actually not a bad case. This is a spec case that I bought. That's a problem. Yeah, it's not even taking it. That's a problem. So is there a way to adjust? So what it's got here, this is interesting. So, and I'm glad I got these cases in, because that is an issue. So it's got this rubber thing, which is good because the part of the phone that touches has the most tension right there. But when you put the phone in, because it's in a case, it's being lifted up too high now for the connector to reach. So you can't get it in there. And this is like your run-of-the-mill case. So I'm guessing if you have a case on your phone, because there doesn't appear to be an adjustment anywhere. So that's a problem. Let me look this up. Let's take a look. Yeah, so if you click on that link in the description, it'll take you right in to take a look at it. So this case is not all that thick. Yeah, it's a little bit beefier. But I've seen, I've looked at my share of cases over the years, and this one isn't that thick. Let me see if this other one I have is any thinner. I don't think this one is, because this is these are both the Presidio line from Spec. So let's take a look and see if this one is any different. So this one's a little bit thinner, maybe? It's about the same. Yeah, they're kind of in the same thing. So I'm curious if anyone is reporting case issues with this. Yeah, so it looks like a bunch of people are talking about in the reviews. Yeah, so it seems like everyone's issues with it on the product reviews is that it doesn't work with a case. which I think is not a good thing. I'm just looking through some of the reviews here. And there's some people complaining about durability, so I'll have to play around with this a little bit more too. So one reviewer said that the lightning connector came out with the rest of the phone when they took it out. It feels pretty good to me, but you know what? You never know where the weak points are with it either. But I think though, so let me show you what I was thinking with this, because I hope it's over here, because I got these, they're really cool, these little FLIR cameras that, I mean, you think about what a FLIR camera used to cost. You can get these for your phone. I had them over here somewhere. Let's see if I can find them real quick, because I want to show you what I think what they did was really well executed. I'm going to have to track it down now. See, nothing is ever where I think it is, because this place is a disaster. What's it down here? Hang on. Ugh. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so let me show you what FLIR did with their thing. So they have they put their connector. This is, again, a different kind of design, but they put their connector here with a little screw here, and you could move the connector up and down. So if you had a big, deep case like this, it would work. And I'm going to check now. I'm curious. I'm going to check their website to see if they have phones in cases in their materials. Because, I don't use a case, but most people do, right? Yeah, so all the photos on their, all their photos have no cases on the phones. That seems to me like, kind of a common customer issue. Let me do a quick search on Google here. What I do like about it is I just like the way it feels. There's no carrying case for it, which a lot of people are also complaining about. But it really does not feel like a case-compatible controller. Unless you get something that's super thin, but that probably won't provide the protection. So that's a bit of a bummer. It's getting good reviews. But yeah, it looks like you got to take your case off for this to work. And I'm not sure that's such a, if you think about it, that's kind of an oversight. And I get it, because you got to factor in, it's more complicated to build a product that fits a bunch of different sizes versus just one. But that to me is the issue here, if I had to gripe about something. But I think it's a valid gripe, don't you? Let me go and take a look at the chat room here. Catch up on that. Deep Flake is wondering, is it better than the Razer One? I have not tried that, so I cannot comment on whether or not it is better. I have played, though, with similar Razer controllers, and I like how this one feels better, if that helps. And David says, My Play Home game apps are loved. Yeah, so it's My Play Home and Panda Town. I think Panda Town is the other one that they like. Those are the two that they're playing, that my little one's playing a lot with. And she likes it. It's, it's like a dollhouse kind of thing. But they're good about it because they know how to get money out of people. It's like $2 here, $2 there. The next thing you know, like you've spent, a lot of money on this stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, they enjoy those quite a bit. I think I think it's Panda Town. I think that's the one that she really likes right now. That's the one that she seems to be playing the most with. So yeah, so we've been going for about an hour. I got to run in a few minutes because we're going to catch up with my dad for the beginning of the July 4th weekend here in the United States. So for those of you outside the US, July 4th weekend is a kind of like, it's not quite the unofficial start of summer, but it's like a real summer kind of holiday. And this year, when is July 4th? I think July 4th is on Monday, or Sunday. So it's a true 3-day weekend this weekend. So a lot of times it's like in the middle of the week. So you get a day off in the middle of the week. Here you get like the whole 3-day weekend. So that's why everyone loves July 4th. So yeah, that's pretty good. I will say, minus the case problem, it's a decent controller so far. I'll play with it all over the weekend and then come up with a an opinion of it. But so far, I think it's for a revision 1 product, pretty good, especially from a company that I haven't heard from about before. This is Backbone Labs is the manufacturer. It's kind of a new company. So take that for what it's worth, but it does appear to work pretty well. So yeah, so I just wanted to get this tested and see what it's all about. And then we'll have a full review coming up soon on the main channel. And let me check and see if my package got here yet, because if it did, I can open it, because I know what it is. I didn't know I was getting it, but I know what it is. And let me see if it has arrived yet. Let's see. See, things never get here. Oh, it's here. Hang on. Let's see if it's the one I think it is. It is. Oh, good. It's on the front porch. Let me go get that real quick. Hang on. Be right back. I'm going to put my thing up here again. Now we're going to, I've been getting a lot of steps in today, so you've been all very helpful with that. There it is. Cool. All right. Let's see what this is. Okay. Let me just peel my labels off of it real quick here. Whoa, almost fell down the stairs. Okay, survived that. So let me open this up. So what this is, it came from, I got this notification that this package was coming, and it came from Society Awards, which is the same people that make the YouTube plaques, like the one I got back there. And I think this is from Amazon. So let's open it up and see what it might be. Lots of stuff in here. Ooh, it feels heavy. Wow, it really feels heavy. So let's take a look here and see what this is. So this came from Amazon, because as you know, I've been doing streaming on Amazon for almost 2 years now. But I've hit a certain milestone, I believe. Ooh, look at this. This is really nice. Wow, look at that. Amazon Live, Lon.TV 2020. This is beautiful. Very nice. There's no note in the box, but I will have to get in touch with them. Where should we put this? Isn't this nice? Where should we put this? It's like, it's heavy too. It's like really heavy. It's very nice of them. Well, I think it should probably go like next to, I could put it like, I wouldn't see it there. I could put it there, although it doesn't get, kind of gets lost. I think what I might do is put it somewhere on the back shelf there after I shine it up a little bit, but pretty nice. I'll give you another look at it here. Isn't that cool? That's a very nice thing for them to do. So this is my I guess I started in 2020. I thought I started earlier than that, but pretty cool. Yeah, I am on the one of the A-listers, as they call us, on Amazon Live. So pretty nice. Thank you for the super chat, Wolf Factor. Much appreciated. Give you a shout out on Monday. Mark Smith, does any money come with that? No, but it's good. There's affiliate revenue on the stream, so that works out okay. Deep Flake, thank you very much. And yeah, I gotta get those squeaky sounds reduced. Although it's good because I can hear when the kids are escaping, so that's often a warning sign. David Bound is waiting for some RAM to come in the mail. And David says this is, yeah, so it's been like very dry here throughout the year, through the summer so far. So I was actually grateful because my wife has been making me go out and water the garden that she has been growing all these great vegetables in. So I was kind of relieved to have a night off from having to do that. Thomas says if I get 10 of these, yeah, they should have like a giveaway for a Blue Origin launch. I have to say I really like what Jeff Bezos did. I don't know if you've been following this, but this was just announced, I think, yesterday. He and his brother are going up along with somebody who paid, it was an auction to go. And then there was a member of the Mercury 13. And if you never heard of them, it's because they never got the chance to go to space. NASA trained 13 women to go into space during the Gemini program. They went through the same exact training as the men, but they never got to go. And one of the women, Wally Funk is her name. She's 82 years old. She has almost 20,000 hours of flight time. Can you believe that? 20,000 hours. She's a flight instructor. I think she's got every certification you can get from the FAA, so a very accomplished aviator. Trained to be an astronaut but never got to go. So she's going up with him. Now granted, they go up and down for like 4 minutes and that's it. But still, like what a great opportunity. And they had a video of her. She is you would not know that she was 82 years old. Like she's got a lot of pep in her step and very excited to go into space. So pretty cool stuff though. That was nice of them to send me this. Now I got to find a place to put it. So I think it should probably go next to my YouTube one. And I don't want to mess up my shelf here yet because everything on this shelf is kind of, this might actually fit right in there. Let's see. Oh yeah, it fits perfectly. Look at that. Perfect. So I can put that right here. And then we'll find a new home for these things. That'll work. Actually, maybe I could have this go next to it here. Because otherwise that shelf is kind of barren, isn't it? I move it like that. That looks kind of nice like that. Then I could find a home for my videotape. And this is a Raspberry Pi case, but it looks like a little Sega Genesis. There is a company, if you're on Amazon, called Retro Flag that makes these little things. They're terrific. So definitely check them out. So good stuff. It's Thomas Yanfang. Yeah, so I think that, when I was watching For All Mankind, that was what I was thinking about. I think they did kind of use that as inspiration for the female astronauts in that show. And by the way, For All Mankind, like, awesome show. You got to watch it. I really enjoyed it. It starts off a little slow to these long episodes, but they really build. It's Ronald Moore. He does great work. They really put together an awesome show. And the second season I liked it quite a bit because the space program that I grew up with was the shuttle in the 80s, and so this was like the alternative future of the space shuttle, but a moon base, and it was kind of like an it kind of gives you a feel for what it would have been like had the space race continued past the 60s. It was good stuff. Yeah, so there we go. So that was great. I'm glad this came right when we were doing the stream here today. So very nice gift from Amazon to acknowledge the work here. So it is now immortalized. And I'll do a little thing on the wrap-up to give everybody a view of that. But yeah, it's kind of nice to have a new thing back there. Good stuff. All right. Well, everybody, I am going to get moving here in a minute. Although Dave, I got a comment here that I wanted to put up. David Bound on the retro flag cases. Yeah, they've got here. Let me pull up. Let's see if I can get a new browser window here, and I'll show you some of the stuff that they do, because they do some really nice, nice stuff. Let me add it to my. See, I just want to see what they're actually selling right now. They got all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah, this is like here. Let's go just browse their store, and I'll pull it up on. Because they have a Game Boy, so they've been going from, like they started with like basic cases, and now like they've gotten into some crazy stuff. I reviewed a lot of their things, and you know what's funny is that generally when somebody has something for me to review, they call and say, hey, would you like to review, and yada yada, and then they send things in. Retro Flag is kind of funny because they never tell me; it just shows up, and it's always something cool, right? So here is, and the prices aren't bad either. So here is the Retro Flag. Hang on, I just got to turn on my do not disturb here. So we'll look at a few of these things. This is the Retro Flag Game Boy case, and this thing, I have it over there. It looks like a Game Boy, like it really. And what it runs on is one of the Raspberry Pi 0 and 0W. So you need to bring your own Raspberry Pi 0 to the mix. But it's good enough to run a lot of basic 8-bit games and some 16-bit games too, actually. And it's all functional because the Raspberry Pi 0 sits in the cartridge component, which comes out. Do I have it over there? Let me see if I can find it. I'll just show it to you real quick because it's pretty neat. We should probably do a whole stream on all these wacky things. And you know what's funny is that the quality of their products, like they feel as good as they look, if that makes sense. Now, where did it go? It was over here for a while. And I think I might have relocated it to keep it safe. And of course, now it's going to be missing. Yeah, I don't know where it went. I will have to track it down. Maybe it's over here. Hang on. I reorganized things down here a while ago, and then whenever I put things away, they end up getting lost because I don't remember where they were last seen. Yeah, it's not over here anymore. I'll find it. But the Game Boy thing they have is really cool. So it feels like it feels exactly like the original Game Boy, except that it's got more buttons. But it's got a great screen. It's just so well done. Look at the prices on these. Like you get like a little Super Nintendo case, $15. And they have like little fake cartridges. They have a neat little game controller. I think there's some connection to 8-bit dough, like as far as the industrial designers are concerned. This one, which was the one we looked at most recently? I think it was this one that we looked at most recently. Yes. Actually, no, not this one. They have another one, which actually might be right here, right in front of me. Yes, so this is their NES Pi 4 case. And it has like a little cartridge that goes in. And it actually is it's a container for, or a holder for a solid state drive. So I got a little 2.5 inch solid SSD, SATA SSD. And so inside, we did a whole live stream where we put this thing together. Isn't this cool? It works with the Pi 4. My Pi 4 is in here right now. This is my Pi 4 case. And it's got like a little spot you can store your micro SD cards. The SD card goes in right here so you can swap them out if you want. So you could load up like, you know, your Raspberry Pi emulation station on one of these things. Isn't it cool? I just think this thing is awesome. Get your video output here, audio out. Yeah, this is the NES Pi 4. Now, what does this one cost? And like you would think they would charge an arm and a leg for this, but they don't. So the Nest Pi 4, get this, $40. You have to buy the Raspberry Pi to go in it. Isn't that crazy? I think my video is on this one. There it is, right there. So you can see my review of the whole thing. And it's the most underappreciated thing ever. Honestly, like it's just such a cool little product. So I really like these things. Yeah. So check if you have a Raspberry Pi and you're into these retro things. I mean you can't obviously feel it because you're not here, but it's like super solid. I mean, $40, it's a good deal for something like this, I think. It has it comes with a fan and a heatsink also. So if you look back here, let me pull it back up for you. What you get with it is a thermal module which has a fan on it. So you've got an active cooler that goes on. I mean, it's great. It's a great little device. But this one only works with the Pi 4. But the Pi 4 is a great emulation device. And it lights up. You got your external hard drive that goes in the cartridge case there. And I think they've got, let me see what else they have here. And they have a hard drive enclosure. I'm not sure what this is. Okay, this must just be an add-on. Oh, that's clever. So, so what you got here, this is neat. So this is a hard drive enclosure. It's like a SATA hard drive enclosure, but it looks like a Nest cartridge with the holders that they used to give you with the games. It just, like that's a fun little gift. So you still need to put the hard drive in. So that's what makes these things kind of fun because they're a project. You have to build them, right? And then you've got something you can play with after that. I'm just trying to see what else they have here that I missed. The Game Boy one, and then you can buy bundles with different things or whatever. And then, so this here, so this will give you a feel for that Game Boy thing. This is how the Pi Zero goes in. So it goes inside of this. They even got, I wish I had it in front of me. They even matched the pin design of the cartridges because it's actually a functional thing because the Pi is inside of that, and then they mapped the pinouts for the Pi for video and everything else to these Game Boy style pinouts. It is so meticulous. They're great. So as Mark Smith says here, very Game Boy-like. It is very much a Game Boy kind of thing. Jorge Martinez, thank you for the congrats, by the way, on Amazon. I missed that earlier. I would love for them to do, you know what they should do? They should make like a Mister case that looks like an Amiga or a Commodore or something. I think that would be awesome. Mark Smith says, it still looks like a hamburger box. Sure does. Yep. Will Factor wants them to make a SNES or a Dreamcast. You know what's funny? I usually get stuff from them, and I have a feeling that the pandemic has slowed down their production. Because I can't imagine these things being easy to make because they've got, look at all the molding, just the molding alone. But then there are some electronic components to this also because there is a custom board linked to the power switch and the reset button. So it's not a very difficult piece of electronics to manufacture, but there is there's more to it than that. And just like from a functionality standpoint, now this one doesn't have obviously a functional volume control, but it has this spring-loaded cartridge thing where you can store your cards. You got the 2 USB ports here in the front. And this one too has the safe shutdown component to it and a fan. So that's kind of that's a good idea. Mark said a micro ATX in a Mac 2 case. That would be awesome. Some like, yeah, or maybe like replicate the 2GS or like the Mac. That'd be awesome. They could totally do that. There's a market for that. I think people would buy that if there was a motherboard that you could get because you know what I think would be kind of cool would be to have like a PC, like a single board PC that could boot up in a design like the SE30 or one of the more modern 90s iMac or the color. I'm thinking like the Mac Color Classic. That was a pretty cool computer. Nathan here says that some people were complaining about Wi-Fi and Bluetooth issues from the heatsink. I could see that happening, right? Kind of blocking the signal and some interference. You will get, so that's the other thing. This is a USB 3 connection. So, and it actually plugs into the USB port. And I recall that USB 3 being close to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth can cause some interference. I do recall that on some other devices. Because if you have like a router that has a built-in USB port, sometimes those routers come with it disabled or running at USB 2 speeds because of the interference potential. So David modded a mid-90s Packard Bell pizza. Oh, that's awesome. Packard Bell had some like really iconic PC. It like breathed commodity PC, but they all looked pretty cool, didn't they? And David would love an Amiga 500 full-size case. There was somebody making something. I've been following RMC Retro Man Cave. He's been doing some work with some of these newer cases. The Checkmate, I think that might have been it. The Checkmate case. Let's see if that's the one I was thinking of. Yes, that's it. Because yeah, Retro was it Neil, right? From here, I'll pull this up on screen here for you all. So this is the. So these have like these are like an Amiga 1000 kind of inspired design. This one looks pretty cool, actually. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it looks pretty neat. And it works with Mini ITX, Micro ATX, Raspberry Pi, some of the new Amiga things. Let's see if we can see what the 1500 Plus looks like. That's pretty cool looking. Yeah, it's got a real kind of retro look to it, doesn't it? And this is the mini one. This is the smaller of the two. That looks pretty cool too. Yeah, so there's just some stuff out there. It's a niche market, but there's a niche for that. So that was from Nick, by the way. He said to check out the Checkmate, which is what we just looked at. Good stuff. Thank you for that, Nick, because I forgot the name of it, but I always know there's somebody in the chat that knows it. Patrick Chang is saying hello. David also liked the Mac 2CI. You know who's got a fun channel? It's called, what is it called now? Retro. He's the guy that works on all the old Macs and gets them working again. He just did one on the 2CI or the 2CX. There's a couple of them. There's Adrian's Digital Basement is one. Who is the one I've been watching a lot of lately? Gosh, I can't remember. Action Retro. Action Retro is the one I've been watching too. So there's definitely some good ones out there. Yes, that's it, Chris Allegretta. Action Retro. And then on the Checkmate case, Retro Man Cave and LGR both looked at it and built. Yes, they both built some systems there. Cool stuff. Macintosh 84. I'll look that one up. And yeah, the 8-Bit Guy does this kind of stuff too, because I think the 8-Bit Guy had some interest in the Checkmate also. Let's see if that's Macintosh 84. It might be a channel I've never heard of before. I'll have to check them out. All right. I am going to get moving here. I've got a mess on my desk. I started with a clean desk, and now I've got a mess on my desk. But I am going to probably shoot the review of the controller here in the near future. So be on the lookout for that. But I'm pleased with it. It's just that it doesn't work with cases. You're going to have to take your phone out of the case to use it. So I think that could be a deal breaker for some. And what's confusing to me, it's a very nice product, well engineered. But you would think, if they're spending that much time engineering such a nice product, that they would think of some way to solve the connector position issue. And maybe it gives you a reliability problem, right? If that is movable. But I think that would have made this better, because I don't, there's a convenience factor to this, because if you can just snap your phone in when you want to play a game and take it out when you're done, great. But if you have a case, now you've got an extra step, right? More friction. I don't like friction. Mac 84. That's a channel I haven't heard of before, so I'm going to have to add that to my list of retro to watch. I'm still on a UFO kick. I've been watching all this UFO stuff, but I'll have to. I'm that guy now. Like, he just watches UFO stuff at night, right? Mac 84. I'm going to subscribe to Mac 84. It looks interesting. I could watch old computer channels forever. It's like watching old cars, like if you're into cars, right? It's the same kind of thing. All right. Heads up to any MSP using Cassia VSA for their RMM tool, they were just hit. Can you translate that for me, my tech guy? Cassia VSA? What is that? I don't think I'm using any of those things. But hopefully somebody I'm with doesn't use that. Oh, it's an IT management thing. Uh-oh. It's remote control software. Eee, that's not good. Not good at all. Okay. Well, that's not good. I'm glad I'm not using that. So I'm going to run. Thank you all for tuning in. This was fun, and look for the review of this coming up soon. Thank you to Amazon for the beautiful live award. I'm going to have to send a thank you note to them. That was really nice, a nice surprise to get that today. And it's now up there with the YouTube award. I've got one of the OG YouTube awards. The new ones look a little more modern. But I'm very happy with my YouTube award. I was very, very proud to have earned that. So that's a really clever thing that they do also. It builds, gives you something to shoot for. So the next one is the million. We're going to have a long way to go before we hit 1 million. But we'll get there at some point. All right. So I am going to head out, and we will be back again in the very near future, everybody. And thank you all for tuning in. And we'll be back. I'll be back over the weekend. We'll see. And we'll go from there. Frank Cromer, the Unify thing is going up on Saturday night or Sunday morning, depending on how well tonight's video does. So stay tuned. It is up. It's up on Floatplane now, but it will be on the main channel before you know it. So it's coming. It's not a takedown. It's just it's my experience that I've had with it. My tech guy, thank you for the super chat on the way out there. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And we'll see what the weekend brings. And Frank's having some issues with some Unify gear. So yeah, so you'll hear about it. The bottom line on the Unify thing is that I've had to restore my network twice after firmware updates on the Unify Pro, which is a nice router, a very nice router, but it has some issues, which is that it's still kind of in development, so that is where it's at. Okay, everybody, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you all again very soon. Thank you all for your continued support of the channel. Things are slowing down a little bit. They usually slow down at this time of the year, but I think the pandemic period, we saw a lot of traffic and a lot of growth, and now that I think everyone's got the tech products that they need and they're getting out of the house, they're consuming less YouTube, and they're not looking for as many affordable tech products. So you will see, if you check my stats, the traffic is dropping off, but the revenue's fine, actually. So things are actually fine. It's just that we're at that time of the year where things drop off a bit, and we've got all this economic whiplash going on too. So it's going to be really hard to predict what works and what doesn't on YouTube, at least for the stuff that I do for the next couple of months. But I'm going to keep looking for this stuff, and I would love for you all, when you see things that are interesting, send me a note so I can get it into review, because I do need to keep a diverse range of products coming up for review here. And with all the slowdown of electronics, it's really hard to find things. So just be aware. Just help me out. So if you see something you want me to pick up, let me know. I'll grab it, review it, and go from there. And we got a late hello here from Stephen Morris. Hello and goodbye. We're going to head off in a minute, but thanks for stopping in. Have a great 4th, David. Enjoy. Everyone stay safe, by the way. I saw a funny post from a New Hampshire police department. So in the U.S., fireworks are legal in some states, and in other states they're not legal. And then you have different types of fireworks. So we have some fireworks here in Connecticut are legal, but just like the sparkler types, not the ones that explode. But in New Hampshire, everything's legal. So they said, freedom is best celebrated with 10 fingers. And I agree. Keep all your fingers this weekend, everybody, because those fireworks can be dangerous. All right, I will see you all on the next one, and I've got a mess of stuff to clean up here. So thanks all for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.